Flyknight has been an interestingly short but very fulfilling game I have played recently. A dungeon crawler where you play as a squire that was tasked to take down a witch named Luna Moth in order to break the curse that prevented the denizens of the realm from growing wings. I gotta admit that the premise is quite simple, but sometimes that alone can be enough to have a clear goal from start till the end. Being a dungeon crawler that is heavily inspired by the King's Field series, its unique mechanic is the limb-based combat, which allows you to destroy certain parts of enemies, preventing them from using specific attacks, severing their movement, or even their senses altogether. It is also clunky in a way that makes the combat more methodical. Going gung-ho will always tire you down and make you vulnerable to attacks. On the flip side, back and forth pokes, strategically hitting an enemy's parts, or even shooting a bow and arrow would leave a much more desirable outcome instead. Each weapon also behaves differently as well. Weapons such as spears focuses more on forward momentum attacks, while a longsword is best played in open, wide areas. I like the variety of weapons that are available, and by the end of the game, the halberd was my favorite since it allows me to attack in various directions. Complementing the combat system is the exploration itself. Each nook and cranny always rewards players with potential loot or even alternative routes to your next destination, as the map itself feels very big but always lets you get your bearings as well. I never felt lost during my playthrough, and whenever I found an alternative route that allows me to avoid enemies altogether, it felt very rewarding. There's also campfires which work similarly to Soulsborne games, healing you and your flask, letting you teleport to other places you have to explore, while at the same time reviving enemies that you have killed. There are, however, no leveling up required in Flyknight, which again felt like a breath of fresh air as well. At the campfire is where you can stash up any loot you may have collected throughout your journey and talk to other characters that are also trying to defeat Luna Moth as well. The music used within the game, while repetitive, kind of fits the vibe of the game as well, since it's more focused on exploration, so it does become sort of an earworm at times. The boss fights do have a pretty cool music, but other than that, it is serviceable at best. There are some features that the game has, such as fishing, which is supposed to give buffs, but I don't even use it at all, and also co-op. I'm sure playing this game in co-op will be a much more fun time, but solo play is more than possible as I completed the game in single player. In terms of the game's length, I finished the game in about 4 to 5 hours, with the majority of the time being played on my Steam Deck, which does run the game very well, letting me net about 3 hours of game time after I purposefully reduced the frame rate to 30 FPS to conserve battery life. The only complaint I can possibly see is that the camera movement is not everyone's cup of tea, as it may cause potential motion sickness and the animation can feel RuneScape-like. You can increase it, but I do think this is certainly by design. Overall, Flyknight has been a wonderfully short game in an era where a lot of games try to have 30 to 40 hours of gameplay that probably do not have a lot of substance. I enjoyed the limb-based combat it has, the exploration was fun and rewarding, and again does not overstay its welcome. I also think it would be a fun time with a buddy or two, exploring the world together and taking down enemies one limb at a time.